Hi guys, how you doing? Jack Queen here, the cynical Brit with comedic wit. Now then, you're probably wondering, here Jack, what do you do with your life? Surely you can't spend all of your time being naked and wanking around the house. Well, I'm glad you asked, ladies and gentlemen, because recently I got myself a job working night shift as a carer. Yay! When can I stop doing this? Now you're probably thinking, hey Jack, how can a man who clearly can't look after himself get a job looking after some of the most vulnerable people in today's society? Well, it's simple. It's a pandemic, innit? I ain't got time to look for people that are qualified or, care. So yes, I, Jack Queen, may possibly, potentially, probably be looking after your nan, that poor woman. Or by the way, whilst I have you on this video, I just thought I'd let you know that I think your nan needs her genital warts looked at. Somehow I don't think a wet flannel and some soap is going to cover it, pets. So why did I go and get this job in the first place, you might be asking? Well, it's because I'm a caring, nurturing, loving person who wants to help people to maintain their independence as much as possible. Obviously. God. Aren't I great? Now, to be honest with you, it's because the benefits dried up and I wanted to take out my violent rage and frustration on people that can't hit back, or at least not very hard. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen. Do not worry, I have definitely not toe-punted your nan out of a second floor window. Well, that was very specific, wasn't it? The other reason was so I could be indignant about the fact that our Prime Minister hasn't paid me extra money as an essential worker. Hey, Boris, it's been over a month now and I haven't got paid anything extra as an essential worker. Come on, cough up. Not like that. To be honest with you, right, I know this sounds weird, but I actually don't want him to increase my pay. And the main reason for that is because I quite like complaining. It gives me something to do, you know. So I thought, given that I've worked in care for just over a month now, that I would share my vast amount of experience, give you my initial thoughts on what it's like working night shift as a care worker. After all, you only live once, and if they happen to see this, I can always get another job. That being all said, let's get into the video. So as you lot may or may not know, right, it's summertime, so it's a little bit harsh, or at least so I thought. Like, I have to travel on a sweat bus, to then go on a sweat train, to then walk 10 minutes in the blistering heat to get to work. But oh my god, that is nothing compared to working in a care home. Jesus Christ. I didn't realise the first time that I went to go and work in a care home that I'd need fucking sunscreen on. It's fucking roasting. I am not exaggerating. See, now when we get older, we do tend to get a little bit colder. That rhyme. Poet laureate over it. But if I had the heating on the same temperature it is as a care home in my parents' house, I'd be getting battered around the head. No question about it.
Put more layers on,
was often the expression as I sat around in my pants, complaining that it was cold. But it was a principle that was often beaten into me as a child, and it taught me a valuable lesson as an adult. So instead of having the heating on full blast, why don't we wrap Grandad up in 3 of his finest wool cardigans and turn the sodding heating down? Now, one of the scariest things I've learned since working in a care home is that they all come out at night. Trust me, it is a scary sight at 3 in the morning when you're going around doing your checks, right, to make sure they're, alive. When you turn down a darkened corridor to see an old geriatric staring back at you screaming, "Nurse! Help me! Help me, nurse! Help me!" It also doesn't help that they move and look like the living dead. Makes me wonder though who I'll end up looking like when I'm an old man. Oh, fuck off. So around about 5:30 in the morning, right, we got to get them up, washed and dressed and ready for breakfast, and by 8 o'clock when they're due to have the bloody thing, they're all fucking asleep again. Which isn't really fair when you think about it. They ain't been up half the night trying to stop people walking into bloody walls. Get a job. Earn your sleep. Now, one of the things that I absolutely love about my job is I get to meet a variety of people from all different walks of life and different cultural backgrounds, and they have a vast amount of experiences and stories. And they can't remember any of them, which is both good and bad. Now, obviously it's bad because they can't remember things, and that's quite difficult, especially because a lot of the people I work with do suffer with dementia. But on the flip side, they can't remember them, so they won't tell you their life story. It's great. A lot of the time you'll find most of the people that are there will have a certain set of phrases that go around on a sort of loop, and it made me wonder, do they actually have dementia at all? Like, think about it for a moment, right? Like, I probably spend 70% of my day-to-day life getting by using the same phrases that I always say. Phrases such as fair enough, or I like the idea of insert stupid idea here. Or my personal favourite, Ah, for fuck's sake. It's so versatile. The other 30% of it is forgetting what I was meant to be doing, going into the wrong room and wondering why I'm there, or having an irrational tantrum. Like, what's the real difference here? It's like the blind leading the blind, or the forgetful leading the forgetful leading the forgetful. I don't know. I forgot. Now, one of the things in this job is there is a lot of shit to deal with, and I mean a lot of shit to deal with. It amazes me that they even bother putting toilets in care homes in the first place. You know what, in the interest of fairness, right, they should give us workers a pack of Pampers every shift and then we can just go whenever we want as well. It's only fair, really. Like, imagine, right, depending where I am in the building, right, if I need to use the toilet, I could literally be miles away when I'm busting for a piss. Whereas when you're old, right, or in a care home, you can just drop a dump wherever you want. Like, if I did that, I'd get arrested. Albeit whilst maintaining social distancing. At least I think that's why the police were holding me with a large pair of tongs. I tell you what, right, people don't think of it this way, but being able to sit in your own shit is actually a luxury. For one, it's a warm cushion that you get to sit on. Then we wipe them, clean them, and off they go. Rinse and repeat. But I tell you what though, if we changed a wet flannel for a wire brush, I guarantee you they wouldn't be shiting themselves half as much. And I tell you what, right, if they do really need to shite themselves, they'll be weighing up the consequences, wondering whether it's worth it or not. On the plus side, right, if I have an upset stomach and I need to fart, I can just blame it on Agnes and say that she needs changing. It's a victimless crime really, because I get to fart, she gets her ass wiped. It's a win-win. Honestly, I thought it'd be quite difficult for me to deal with that side of the job, but really, you get used to it quite quickly. But the one thing I can't get used to is when I go home, I can still smell it. It kind of lingers in your nostrils and clings to your skin. And it makes me self-conscious when I'm on my way home, because when I'm on the train or the bus, they don't know I've come from a care home, do they? So all I have is a load of people judging me and going, oh, something smells rather unpleasant. But the worst thing is when I go to the toilet, right, my shite starts to smell like theirs. It got so bad, right, that I actually had to look it up on the internet, and it turns out it's actually a thing, which just isn't fair. Which sounds like a stupid thing to get annoyed about, but imagine this for 1 minute. You spent all day with these scents and smells to come home to your own personal scents and smells, and then when you go home for a shit, it just doesn't have your signature on it, that thing that makes it personal to you, and it's not fair. I want my shit back. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Now before I go, I don't want you getting the wrong idea. I do actually like doing my job, but like any job, it is difficult, and I like ranting, I like raving, and I like complaining. But somebody's got to do it, and already in a short amount of time, it's actually taught me quite a lot about myself and about how I deal with people, which is a really good thing to have. And the way you can look at it is, I care, so you don't have to. You lucky bastard. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit a like and leave me a comment, because I love reading your lovely comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and turn the notification bell on so you can be kept up to date with all things Jack Queen. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on my socials. They will be down below in the description. And if you want to help us out further, you can donate to my Patreon page, which I'll leave down below. Any help towards that will be massively appreciated. And take care for now. My name is Jack Queen, play your cards right, and I will see you next time.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.